Okay, I'm staying here for a little longer. Hopefully, you guys can stand me. Now we staying in New York, talking to Taryn, who is a crochet artist that we see each other maybe 2019, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are
Um,
you?
good, good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm excited to be here and share some of my process in this little studio of mine in Brooklyn. Yeah, so I'm in Brooklyn and originally I'm from Arizona
Hmm.
and I really wanted to study art therapy. So I began college with that idea. But then I got really distracted because I was making things with my hands a lot. And a friend said, you should go to FIT for shoes and bag design.
Oh.
And so I actually went to FIT for 4 years and I worked in the industry for some really amazing brands in shoe design and handbag design and got to travel a bit and see some amazing factories around the world and work with some beautiful artisans. And then my last job offered me to move to Boston. And so I really did consider it. And then I just decided that I wanted to do my own thing, which I never thought that I would ever want to do because I would never know what that would be. But when that opportunity kind of came up, I said, I kind of want to make art. And I had this dream all of a sudden, like, I want to be an artist. Well, I've always wanted to be an artist, and I think we all are individual artists, but I think the opportunity to like move out of the city that, I called home kind of presented itself in a different way, in a different light. And so I saw like, I want to make big pieces and I also want to teach workshops. So it kind of just like happened. And so that was, I think 5 or 6 years ago that I started my business. And it's just kind of blossomed from there, just like new ideas and new concepts and new materials and working with new companies and projects. So that's kind of in a nutshell who I am. I just jumped into it because we have only 10 minutes, so it feels like time.
No problem. Well, I saw your profile and then I found out that you started doing crochet at age of 7.
Yeah. So the story begins even earlier than like the job offer to Boston. Yeah. So I learned when I was 7 by a woman who was 70. And it was at an after school program. And she was sitting alone at the craft table, crocheting. And I was, I liked making things. And so I went up and I asked her what she was making. And so she just taught me. And I actually have all the pieces that I've made as a kid.
Wow.
So,
Really
and
something. You kept
yeah,
everything?
what's that?
You keep everything?
Not everything, but I kept these like very special pieces that are, it's funny. I actually have it right here. I had a workshop with an 11-year-old yesterday and I showed her my very first piece to kind of show like, I framed them all on these like wood blocks because they're so special to me, but it was a pot holder. And what's so amazing now when I look at it is I can read all the stitches and I can also see when Mary, who taught me, kind of jumped in and corrected things because it's a perfect stitch. And then I go crochet and then it's less perfect, but it's the learning part of it. And I can see where I accidentally skipped and I accidentally put 2 stitches in one. And so what I love about it is that I actually like this mentality of make. And the reason why I say breaking the boundaries of conventional crochet is because I learned from somebody who professionally like knew how to technically crochet, but I didn't learn by a book or technical terms. Maybe she said them to me, but I was so young, like, the proper, like, technical way of when you read a crochet pattern.
Mhm.
Maybe she said them to me, but I don't know because I was 7, so I don't remember verbally what everything she was teaching me. So from there, it was like I took what I knew and I just started to build off of that.
Mm.
And so I didn't learn the technical formalities. And I still never pick up a book. I don't ever read a crochet book. And I find there's beauty in both. So there's the technical, patterns and, like staying within that shape or idea. But I've never done that. So I learned by just kind of free form. And so if I wanted to make, like when I was 9, I made a water bottle holder because I didn't want to carry my water bottle at the zoo when I was going with my grandmother.
Mhm.
So I just taught myself. So I think that in itself shows the freedom of what crochet is capable of. And then I seek materials that are more natural, or that, I can look at yardage of fabrics and rip it up as my yarn.
Mhm.
Um, so seeking to modernize my materials as well. I'm working on a project right now, and we're collecting clean single-use plastics,
Oh.
and we're cutting them up, and we're making these beautiful, huge sea creatures. And this is the beginning of an octopus right now, and the octopus is going to be like the head and the body is going to be like my size body, and then the tentacles will fall to the floor like as long as my legs. And this is working for a climate change initiative in this area in Williamsburg, where it's all about, just teaching and advocating for, Mother Earth, and talking specifically about the awareness of how much trash we really use. And we'll see it in all these huge sea creatures that we're crocheting with. So I think, what I like to do, and especially when I teach workshops, is what's amazing is about 97% of people who take my workshops have never crocheted. And maybe they don't even know what crochet is. And when people view my art, they don't even know that it is crochet. They say, is this woven? Is this macrame? What is this? And that doesn't bother me. What's amazing to me is that you draw somebody in, and it's not intimidating. So the fact that people are signing up to people make this is in both in person and on Zoom. I teach workshops. People signed up and they made this plastics bag workshop. I taught this a couple weeks ago. And so it's teaching you how to use your single-use plastics and turning it into like a handbag or a basket. You can put your plant
So
in.
if you learn some basic skill or a basic crochet, you can actually make something out of
Mhm.
any type of material as
Mhm.
long as they can, more like a yarn type form.
Right, exactly.
Oh.
So I think, and also the way that I teach is kind of the way that I learned. So it's not technical formality like language, it's more visual. So I'm creating a visual of how to use your tools, and when and how the right hand and the left hand have to help each other. And then it becomes like a very fluid motion of something that you can repeat to yourself or out loud. And then it becomes kind of meditative. And so you don't have to feel like you're stuck in a specific pattern or box.
Mhm.
I love to say that the way that I work with my materials in my studio is that the material actually moves me and helps me with the next stitch. And so it's my hands and the material working together, rather than feeling like this big indigo piece, or I have this other commission piece that I'm working on. It's kind of known that I can start out with an idea, but that as it moves on, it's going to evolve and it's going to change. And that's the beauty of it. That's what I like to bring, and that there's no like perfect anything. It's also not imperfect, like, oh, this is amazing as I'm doing it. And I undo my work as often as I make it, because if something's not laying right, I'll undo it and figure it out.
Mhm. I think that teaches a lot. Nothing's gonna be perfect, and then nothing need to be perfect. So,
Right.
if you want to redo it, if you want to just, upcycle, recycle, do whatever you like, to create art and inspire everyone as much as people inspire yourself. I
Mhm.
think that is great. And
Mhm.
I want to thank you, Taryn, for taking the time talking to us. And I love to see more of your art on the Instagram. And
Yeah,
hopefully
thank
one
you.
day you can come to our show and show us.
I would love it. Yeah,
Okay. Thank you
let's
so
do it.
much. And I'll
Thank
see you
you.
soon. Thank you.
Yes, sounds
Bye.
great. Bye.
Bye.